That's where we are at this. We're almost at the halfway point in the season, almost at the halfway point in the festive fixtures. Tim Sherwood is here, Julien Laurent is here to go through everything. But first of all, Righty, before we talk about what it all means, what a game at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Yeah, it was a great game. Can I just quickly say, Tim's only not wearing a Christmas jumper because he didn't get the memo. It's not because he's the Grinch.
Not the Grinch.
One doesn't
He's a
read
nice
his emails.
guy. He didn't read his email well. He didn't
Why
get
you
it.
say that? I mean, I do think there's an opportunity here for us to paint him as a Grinch.
He is a Grinch.
I can be.
He can easily be
play
the
that
Grinch.
easily.
Sorry, Kel.
Just wait till we get into the chat.
Yes.
Wait till we start chatting Spurs and then we'll hear him be a Grinch.
The Grinch, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kels, what was you saying now?
I was talking about the game. That's all.
No, it was a great game. You know, the thing with that game, when it started, I thought, OK, let me see what Tottenham are going to be about. A game against Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool, you know, looking very good at the moment. The midfield's working very well. But I thought that Tottenham would have been able to break Liverpool down, especially getting through, getting the wings, just getting through them. But, like, it just never happened because Liverpool's midfield were just too good. They were too good. Then Salah's form. You know, I feel for Ange because that interview, what Slot done, I don't know if it's genius or what, Julian, you have to explain to me, saying about, I love the way he plays. You know what I mean? It's the way he plays, it's exciting. Because it almost played into Liverpool's hands. They knew that they were going to do exactly what they do.
I think Slot knew exactly what kind of game he was expecting. So what I said to Tim, I think after the game even, we knew exactly, we prepared for this, for all that space. We caused them problem by playing so wide with Gakpo and Salah, and then they had the motorway, the M1, the M6, the M25, whatever motorways you want to look here in the UK, they had that in front of them.
It was just, apart from, and we'll get into the sort of details of it, but apart from anything else, it was so much fun as a game. Maybe not from a Tottenham fan's perspective, but certainly there were moments in there where it felt like the comeback might even if not a comeback, then there were a few nervier moments for Liverpool where it could just have... everybody's frowning at me as if...
I think it's always fun, isn't it? I mean, that's one thing he does guarantee. He said it himself. Are you not entertained?
Yeah.
And we certainly are. You know, he guarantees entertainment at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or wherever they play. There's always going to be goals. When I turned up there, I thought, might be a 0-0 today. No, not really. I mean, no one thought that. Yeah. Everyone knew there would be goals. They didn't imagine there were going to be 9 goals. But I just didn't fancy Tottenham. I really didn't. When I saw the team, he's had a lot of injuries, of course he has. But I knew they're going to play this wide open, no matter, irrespective whether Slot says in his interview. It doesn't matter what anyone says. He plays the same way anyway. Yeah. It's Postecoglou who's going to play one way, and that is it. That's the way. On the front foot from minute 1 till the last minute of the game. And they're wide open. And when you're playing against top players, which have got so much confidence at the moment, you're going to, there's a good chance you're on the end of a hiding. Tottenham can beat anyone on their day. We've seen that when they beat Man City, albeit Man City are not what they used to be. But they can also lose to anyone. You know, it was a very disappointing day for Postecoglou, and he's going to get asked questions. There's always more questions than answers regarding Ange Postecoglou at the moment. And I'm a big admirer of the way he goes about it, but it's just not working at the moment against the top teams.
Tim talked about top players being full of confidence. One of those, of course, as always, is Mohamed Salah, who's become the first player to reach 10 goals and 10 assists before Christmas. He's just breaking records for fun at this stage of his career. He's gone above the great Billy Liddell at Liverpool in terms of their top goal scorers. But, again, it's just the ease with which Liverpool were... I mean, yes, it was a very good performance from them, an excellent performance from them, but the ease with which they were able to cut through Tottenham. Yes,
and you're talking about quality players with time and confidence against it's close enough to them to stop them. And then you've got Salah, for me, arguably one of the... Obviously, we saw Erling Haaland with his unbelievable breakout season with the amount of goals he scored. But in respect to the consistency, how many years he's been doing it, this could be one of the best forward performances in a season I've seen for a long time. This is, if he carries on doing what he's doing now, honestly, I can't imagine what he's going to end up with the numbers, because even when he's quiet in the game, he's still doing something. And I think what happens because of that is the other players are just playing so well. So when he gets, when they say, right, your turn, bam, he does something. Yeah. It's brilliant what he's doing at the moment. I hope he keeps it up for his sake.
Did you not think at the end of last season he looked unhappy? It looked like, to me, it was the beginning of the end for him at Liverpool. Now I don't see that. I think he's more likely to sign a new deal than not. I think he's not going to go certainly to a bigger club than Liverpool Football Club at this stage of his career. A couple of weeks ago, he takes his shirt off. It's only a number, the age. You've seen the condition he's in. He's in amazing condition. He allows the manager to talk to about him away at Newcastle when he says, how can he be that bad for an hour and then all of a sudden you turn it on late. There's no coincidence he turns it on when Trent Alexander-Arnold comes on the pitch because he makes movement because he knows that he's got a range which can find him. He's just a little genius. And I agree with Righty. I think with the smile he's playing with at the moment, when a player's happy, and you know this, Righty, you're not thinking about anything other than enjoying your football, and you know you've got the ability with a good side, with the confidence they have, with a new manager. Everything is looking perfect for Liverpool at the moment. I did tip up Arsenal to win the Premier League. I watched them yesterday, and I'd have to change my mind. I'm allowed to change my mind.
Yeah, of course.
But I think by watching them firsthand and the way they performed, especially in that first half, and dismantled. All right, it wasn't a great Tottenham side, but they, like I say, they have taken some scalps. They look sensational. Every player knew what they were doing. They had wonderful balance, the width of Gakpo and Salah. No centre forwards.
Diaz
drifting.
Szoboszlai's energy through that midfield. And then, again, not only... Because a couple of weeks ago I was saying, I'm not sure what his main strengths are, but what you see, he's got a lot of energy, quality on the ball, and he can get in the box and score. And so you've got Gravenberch, who's getting a lot of plaudits this season, rightly so. Then you've got McAllister. Yeah. It just feels like the balance, it feels right now. And again, when you're looking at players who are playing well, and then you've got your main guy who sees players playing well, not just all on him. Oh, what's he going to do? Oh, what's Saka going to do? Oh, what's Haaland going to do? When they see other people do it, it makes it even better for them, makes it easier for them to be able to produce what they're doing.
Yeah.
Just remind us what Szoboszlai said to you after the game yesterday, in case people didn't see the live coverage.
Well, I asked him, because I saw him getting some cramp, and I said, you got some cramp there late on in the game. He said, yeah, but there was wide open spaces from midfield areas. They knew that there wasn't, for Dragusin and for Gray, two young centre-backs there was no one to mark, and they knew that they would come deep into them areas. And he just said the space just kept opening up, so I kept running into it. And he said, you know, it's like we all want to score goals, we want to create goals as midfield, and there was so much space, I just had to keep going. But I realised that it was tiring my legs out, but I just could not resist taking that opportunity to burst into the open space. They'd done all the analysis on Tottenham. They knew exactly what to expect, and it worked perfectly for them.
Do you know what was interesting about this game, just from a kind of overall season perspective and an Arne Slot perspective, is that when he came in, this is going to be a much more controlled Liverpool. This is going to be a much steadier Liverpool. We won't necessarily get the fireworks that we did under Jurgen Klopp. And then there were sort of moments of that happening. There was the performance with 10 men against Fulham, which showed a different way to do it. And then there was this performance where it was almost as though Liverpool were saying, well, tell you what, if you want to bring the chaos, we'll play in a chaotic way as well. We'll do that.
They have so many gears. I think they have answers to any questions asked to them. I think they have solutions for any problems that somebody can come up with. Even as Girona in the Champions League, they don't play well, they find a way. Against Chelsea at home, they don't play that well, they find a way. Away Arsenal, they're under pressure, they find a way of getting a draw. They seem to find solutions to every problem, and if they need to play one way, they do. If they need to play on the counter mode, they do. If they need Trent involved more, they do. So all of that, and I think he's done that in 1st of July until now, so 6 months. I find that incredible.
It's that window of Gravenberch and that last window when was it Szoboszlai? Did they go in the same window?
Yes.
The fact is that we always speaking about Liverpool and they needed to sort the midfield. It seems like Slot's come in, and when you read like forums off of like Feyenoord, they say he can easily do an academy all the way through the club in respect of sorting something out. He's got to Liverpool, and there's so much already in place. We haven't even seen Arne Slot with the team, what he's built properly. We haven't seen that yet. So we're just seeing that somebody come in and pick up the pieces and just put them in the right places. We were talking about whether or not the consistency, would Salah can do it, would Virgil van Dijk do it, Trent, would he still do it, Diaz, Nunez obviously was still, so we don't know what's going to happen with Nunez, but Diaz, you know, Gakpo, he's got so many players playing well. And we're not even seeing Arne Slot's proper team yet. This is his first season.
But there have been changes, as you say, with individual players, though. So Gravenberch has been developed, and there is movement up front with Nunez and Diaz and Gakpo. They're playing in slightly different positions or taking up slightly different positions in those front three. So he might not have brought players in yet, but he's developing.
He's worked
things.
well with them, yeah. Like yesterday, if Nunes plays up front, I think it'd be easier for Dragusin and Gray, because they know, they're not used to that position. Certainly Gray, he's a midfield player, but he's filling in at the moment because of the injuries. But he would have had someone to mark. It's easier to do that. He wasn't sure whether to stay back, like they did in the end, but they got picked off because of the spacing behind, or to go in and step in. So he wasn't sure what to do. If Nunes was up there, I just looked at their bench. People like Jota coming off the bench. Jones, top players, Harvey Elliott. You got Kelleher in goal. All of these start for Tottenham, these players. So, what I was looking at, well, what happens if we always talk about Mo Salah, if something happened to him, or Virgil, that could be their Achilles heel throughout the season. Of course it could, but I think they could cope. Konate has been outstanding and they've missed him. But Gomez was so good yesterday. Watched him at first hand. So quick, breaking down their attacks. When Son was going down the left, he was just hoovering things up and playing out. They were excellent yesterday. I can't speak highly enough of that Liverpool team yesterday.
15 goals for Mo Salah this season, and Tim was talking about whether or not Liverpool could cope without him. Diaz on 7, and then it's Gakpo and Jota with 3 each. But some of that is down to the way that Liverpool set up, because Mohamed Salah is in the team. Does it look as though Liverpool would be able to? Is this now their title to lose if they can keep everybody fit? And even if they can't, are there solutions within that?
Well, if you lose Mo Salah, which doesn't happen, does it? Touch wood.
Injured,
if you lose him or a Virgil or even like they even lost Alisson and Kevin came in and done very well. Kevin Kelleher came in and done well. I think that's the only problem they could have if Mo got injured in and around this time, because with the amount of points now, you're looking at the points now, and you think to yourself, for me, Liverpool with the game in hand as well, the way they're playing. Liverpool are favourites to win the league, and they know, and they will know that now. They will know that now, because this is where you'll want to kick on. This is where you want to kick on. So I think that it's without doubt Liverpool's now the main title challengers, without a shadow.
I think the camaraderie and I look at their faces, like even Mo Salah yesterday. I mean, right, you can answer this. Do you ever score 2 goals and get brought off the field?
No,
because they want to keep you on, because they know how much you want the hat trick. He scores 2 goals yesterday. He brings him off the field. Give someone else the opportunity. He's trying to preserve him, save his legs. If that was Jurgen Klopp doing that, he comes off. I love Jurgen Klopp. I think he was brilliant for the Premier League, but he would have had the ump. But I looked at him, as he was coming off the pitch, I looked at him and he felt like, I'm part of a team. This is the environment. Someone else needs it. And he is doing it for the right reasons, to save my legs. He wasn't thinking about himself. I think in previous years, even though his numbers have been outstanding, I think he's always been a wee bit on the selfish side, even though his assists are incredible. And you saw it yesterday with the assists. But I just think it's a happy camp there. And it's really important. You go into training every day, that everyone feels part of it. You don't know what team he's going to pick. I mean, there's a few of them, like Virgil knows he's going to play every week, and Mo Salah. Other than that, I mean, you see how he keeps me. Even Sloboslai, who was outstanding yesterday, sometimes he sits on the bench. Curtis Jones plays. So he's keeping them all guessing. It's brilliant at the moment.
And the thing is, it's easier to keep a happy camp if you're winning, and that's what Liverpool have been doing. And that's what means that they are top at Christmas. They have a Christmas #1 spot in the Premier League. And there it is. They've been top in the top flight 20 times before at Christmas. This is the 21st time. And of those previous 20, they've only won it 11 out of the 20. This is a lead of 4 points with a game in hand as well. So it is slightly different. And also they've gone on to win it before, having not been top at Christmas. But it's just, look, it's a place you'd rather be in than not. Let's put it that way.
It's the same debate. Would you rather be the hunter or the hunter? So do you rather be top with those points already or being chasing behind? I'm not sure. There's different answers. And the last 2 times where they were top at Christmas, they got beaten by Man City, the great Man City with Pep Guardiola, not the City that we have now. So any other year without City and Guardiola, they win those titles too. So I don't know. They look so strong right now, apart from maybe an injury or two, like we said, maybe the fact that they could go far in the Champions League and already in the League Cup and maybe in the FA Cup. At the end, there's so many games that maybe that could derail a little bit their form in the league, but I don't even see it. I just don't know what can happen to them to bottle this up.
Jules, I think they'll go about this. This is where, it's coming now. We're coming to Christmas. Go through this period. This is where they'll manage how they're gonna navigate finishing this off now, because you look at it, a game in hand of 4 points. It's not a lot, but who is playing well enough to put them under pressure, because that's what's going to have to happen for Liverpool as well.
And it's a game in hand of 4 points of Chelsea, who drew at Everton at the weekend as well, and we'll come on to that a bit later on.
Yeah, but then
and they're further ahead of Arsenal than that.
Yeah, so all they got to do now is, for me, is those chasing teams. They just have to they have to continue to win, because if Liverpool play like they're playing and then Arsenal drop points or Chelsea drop points, then it's just going to be easy. It just makes the cushion even better for them. So that's what they're probably hoping for.
We've done the sort of good news story from around the game. Let's talk about Tottenham. In the plus corner, because I feel like I should say this first of all, because I think there's going to be resistance amongst this group of people. They scored 3 goals past the side that we've just been describing in Liverpool, the title challengers, the title favourites, and they put 3 goals past them. It looks like everything is working well going forward, and they have injuries at the back, which they are struggling to deal with. They've got an 18-year-old in who's a midfielder playing in the centre of defence. So they've got their second choice goalkeeper who's capable of making errors in there. So is it all doom and gloom then for Tottenham?
It's a shame for them, because if they had their Romero and Van der Ven in there, you'd like to think that it will be shored up a little bit, but the spaces that they are leaving for people who can play like at the calibre that Liverpool can play. You can let in 6 goals against that team. You know what I mean? The great thing for Tottenham is they are capable of scoring against those teams, but because of the way Angel play, and because I don't even believe they've got the defensive-minded midfielder that can actually do the job that they need. I probably think that Tottenham need 2 pivots the way that they play. If they're going to go and play that high and press and try and... But they don't do it.
Two instead of none, you mean?
Yeah, two instead of none. I was going to say, don't need just one.
We're not double pivot yesterday.
They do. They need 2. And the way they're playing, because he said he's not going to change. So something has to change somewhere along the line, Kels, for them to be defensively stronger against teams like that.
Can I put the case for the defence for Tottenham? I'm trying to, because I feel like the sort of narrative at the moment is this is all going wrong. It's not very sensible. Ange Postecoglou has never said he wants to play sensible football.
No.
When he has everybody fit, as you said, they're capable of beating absolutely anybody, especially when they have all their players fit. That they've got bad injuries at the moment, and they still managed to score 3 goals in a game, and they are fun. Tottenham fans, I know, are getting frustrated, but they are fun. If you had a choice of watching any game at the weekend, you'd probably want to watch one that involved Tottenham, wouldn't you? Because they're fun to watch.
Player and you're 5-1 down after an hour at home. It's embarrassing too.
But my point is, they're probably still. They're in the hunt still for a European place come the end of the season. They're still in with a chance of going on potentially and winning a trophy at the end of this season, which they haven't done in however long. And this might yet be a successful season for them while playing entertaining football.
I think it could be. I think he's capable. The way you're going to play like Ange Postecoglou at Celtic, when you've got the best players, it doesn't matter how you play, you're going to win the league, or you're going to win more games than you're not. In the Premier League, you're not going to win the Premier League playing like this, but you can certainly win a cup. You're capable of doing that. Now, that game against Liverpool yesterday was more important for Liverpool than it was for Tottenham, in my opinion, because Tottenham's more important game is the semi-final, two legs of the game against Liverpool. Now, I think Slot will rest players in that game, like he did against Southampton. I don't think he can take liberties like he did down there a little bit, because I think Tottenham will be too good for that. Second leg's at home, it's at Anfield, which is not great for Tottenham. But I still think they're capable of winning that and going on win the trophy. If he goes and wins a trophy, there'll be a statue of him outside Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
You know, the thing is, Tim, I worry because with this defence going up against that team, especially in the second leg at Liverpool, if Dragusin is good, he's strong, he's physical, but he's still getting to grips with the Premier League. Archie, great, is a midfielder. You're going to go to Anfield in a semi-final, second leg.
It will be February,
and he's going to.
By then, Van der Ven and Romero.
You hope, because if they've got those guys back, then it's a different proposition.
Absolutely.
But it's going to be tough for them if they're
always going to score.
Is there a way of playing Ange ball more sensibly? Is that possible? Is there a no? Does it?
You could still tweak a little bit.
Yeah, but Ange ball is chaotic.
Yeah.
That's the way he wants it. You can't play Ange ball sensibly. I mean,
you can play organised chaos, Cal.
But they continue going.
It's not fun unless it's
on the
organised
positive side, what team at 5-1 down? You're absolutely right. Goes on and scores another 2 goals. They keep going. They keep going forward. Kulusevski, like yesterday, was magnificent. Magnificent. This boy can play for Liverpool. He can play for Arsenal. He can play for certainly Man United. He can play for the top teams. The worry is he rehearsing? Is he auditioning for them teams? Because Tottenham would need to keep all of their best players. Sonny's always going to be a threat. Maddison, we see there, never finishes a game under Postecoglou. Not really having him, but he's effective. We've seen it. He scored some goals against big teams like Man City recently, and he scored yesterday when given the opportunity when they shot themselves in the foot a little bit, Liverpool. But they have got players up front who are exciting, and they will continue going right to the end because that's what he demands. So a sensible handball is not an option, but he will tell you that. He will continue playing this way. Can they possibly tweak it? Of course they could. Should they? Of course they should. But will they? No.
I'd love to see, Kels, I'd love to see if Ange was able to last and stay there to get the players he wants to play handball, because maybe that's what we're seeing. He ain't got the players that can play handball.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that with fit defenders. And I believe that you say, what can they do to check? I think they do need defensive midfielders who let the rest of the guys get on with it.
Would you almost say, like, look, let's get to the end, maybe not the January transfer window. Let him have another transfer window in the summer, despite what happens this season?
Because we're hearing about Ange Ball. He's not going to change how he plays. So maybe he can bring players in that he can coach to play better than the players that he's got now. He needs that opportunity, I think.